Hello, everybody. We are on take 305 of Miss Walker trying to figure out technology. Yay! Okay. I was really excited at the beginning. Now I'm wanting to throw my iPad at the wall. But it's fine. We're going to make it. Okay? So we are doing our first session of notes over multiplying binomials. And you have seen a version of this using distributive property. And it's just an expanded version of that. But before we get into the nitty-gritty content of that, I want to quickly go through our agenda. At this point, you should have completed all the steps that are check marked above our notes. So you should have watched the intro video explaining how everything is set up within this course, where all your assignments are, so we don't have any excuses of, oh, I didn't see it, okay? No, because you've watched this video and you fully understand where everything's at. You've also read this virtual class syllabus and taken the Google form quiz, letting me know that you've read that and you fully understand the content that possesses, so we aren't missing any material. Okay, now we're on our third step, which is completing our multiplying binomial notes. And then finally, you'll have your last step of a My Math Lab assignment. I've also thrown my email on there. Whoop, let's do blue. Whoop. If you have any questions while we're going through notes, I want you to please let me know. Now, one thing I want to mention, as far as notes are going to go over digital learning, I cannot provide you my handouts of what we do in class because not everybody has a printer at home, and I'm not going to make people spend 10 hours trying to copy down all those problems. So we're going to do a form of this or a version of those. I'll pull out key problems and put them into a keynote presentation so that you are able to complete those on your own. I am not going to be collecting the notes you take here. However, if I were you, I would do the practice problems on scratch paper as I'm watching this video. Otherwise, you're not going to know what to do once you get to the quiz and test or homework, which we're still having quizzes and tests. Where you will get grades is in My Math Lab or any other digital assignments we complete, but I will not be grading notes. Another thing I want to note, I'm going to go through multiple types of problems. And once we get enough practice, I want you to pause the video, work out the problem, and then play it to watch me how I go through it and check your work. I'm not going to pause for 5 minutes, have white noise for you guys to give you time to work it out where you can pause the video, okay? So that'll be your responsibility. So let's dive into it. We are going to be multiplying binomials, which I said before is kind of like an extended version of the distributive property. To multiply binomials, you're going to distribute each term in the first binomial to each term in the other binomial. Kind of like similar when we had distributive property. For example, if I have x times 3 plus 4, okay, I'm going to distribute that out to each term to give me 3x plus 4x to equal 7x, okay? That's not too difficult. But what if, oh man, that was supposed to be my eraser. Let's say I had x plus 1 times 3 plus, I'm going to make this a y, just for giggles. Y. I can't simplify that at this moment, okay? How do we complete that? We use the FOIL method, which stands for first, outside, inside, and last. Meaning, I'm going to distribute. So I have my first term, which is x. I'm going to multiply x by 3 and by y. Same as if I were doing the distributive property and that 1 was not there. I distribute it to them. All right? After I distribute that, I'm going to go through and distribute my 1 as if my x was not there. So 1 times 3 and 3 plus y. 3 times y. Oh, I'm sorry, 1 times 3 and 1 times y. So if I were to expand that out, I'm going to take x times 3, which gives me 3x. X times y, which gives me plus xy. 1 times 3, which gives me 3. And 1 times y, which gives me y. And that would be my final answer. Okay? So it's taking a version of what we've been doing before, but expanding it. as I'm going through, if you have any questions, please, please, please email me and let me know. Okay? So, for example 1, I have x plus 2 times x plus 4. So, I'm going to use the FOIL method and take my first term, my x, times x. So, it gives me x squared. Okay? I'm going to kind of mix it up to show you how it distributes. I'm going to take x, for my outside, x times 4, which gives me 4x. Man, using different colors and I still pick orange. Duh. Okay? Inside 2x, 2 times x, which gives me 2x. And then my last term, so 2 and 4, which gives me 8. So then my last job here is to look and see what can I combine, what can I simplify? Well, anything with the same variable. So my final answer is going to be x squared plus 8x plus 8. That will be my final answer because I can't simplify that anymore because my exponents cannot combine. All right, and that's the most basic form you will see. You'll see this in different variations where you may have extra variables, or you may have different signs. It can mix it up, and that's what we're going to explore in about a couple examples. All right, here I have a coefficient on my variable. We'll treat it the same as all of our exponent rules. That's why we did our exponents chapters first. So once we get here to more lengthy, complicated problems, we have that stuff down and we're ready to go. So I'm going to use FOIL. Okay. I'm going to multiply my 2x times my x, which gives me 2x squared. I'm going to multiply 2x times 5, which gives me 10x. Now I'm going to multiply 1 times x to give me x. And 1 times negative 5. Oh, I made a mistake, guys. Oh, wait. Let me erase. Good catch. Woohoo! Okay. I almost made the most common mistake. When you're given problems like these, we have our addition and we have our subtraction. Think of it as x plus negative 5. So when you multiply, you have to include that negative, which I did not do here. Okay? That should be, okay, so I did 2x times x, which gives me positive 2x squared. 2x times negative 5, which gives me negative 10x. And then 1 times x gives me positive x, and 1 times negative 5. Woo! That was a close one. Now I combine like terms. So I have 2x squared. X minus 10 gives me minus 9x and minus 5. Woo! See? Expert mathematician. I could be a comedian. All right, next problem. Example 3. Here I have my double negative, so I just need to be careful with my signs. Duh, Miss Walker. All right, and let me write FOIL. If it helps do that, do it. Or if it's helpful to have your arrows, do that. Whatever works best for you so you don't make mistakes. All right, n times 5n gives me 5n. I didn't go down far enough. 5n squared. Negative 1 times 5n gives me negative 5n. N times negative 4 gives me negative 4n. And negative 1 times negative 4 gives me positive 4. Because a negative times a negative gives you a positive. Now it's time to combine. I have 5n squared. I have negative 5 plus negative 4, which gives me negative 9n. Oh, I wrote that 9 wonky. Plus 4. There's my final answer. Okay. Not too shabby. Okay, I've gone through 3 with you. This is a moment. This is a pause moment. Pause. Try it out. And when you're done, regroup. Press play. All right, I'm going to walk through it. So 5x times x gives me 5x squared. 5x times y gives me 5xy. 4y plus x gives me 4xy. 4y times negative, ooh, did I care? Oh, guys, I keep making the same mistake. Whoop. 5x times negative y gives me minus 5y. 4y times negative y gives me minus 4y squared. All right, 5x squared minus xy minus 4y squared. There we go. Woo! And y'all, you know I'm pretty humble. If I make mistakes, please email me. Let me know. I know I'm not perfect. Okay? All right. Woo! Here's a problem where your multiplication terms are very similar, but that one sign can make it different. Okay? So, let's work through it. First, 2r times 2r gives me 4r squared. 2r times negative s gives me negative 2rs. 2r times s gives me 2rs. And s times negative s gives me negative s2. If you notice, because my problems were very similar, the only difference was the sign, is we have this unique property here in the middle, where those will cancel out, because I have 2rs minus 2rs. So then my final answer is 2r minus s squared. Two more problems. Our last problem, or two more, I'm sorry, our second to last problem is the same problems we had up here, except it's condensed, meaning I have 4x plus 4 squared, or if I expand it, I have x plus 4 times x plus 4. They condense it to try to trick you, but simply just rewrite the whole problem out so you don't miss any steps or anything to multiply. Because if you don't write it out, you can miss your middle terms. So, I have x times x, which gives me x squared. X times 4, which gives me 4x. 4 times x, which gives me 4x. And 4 times 4, which gives me 16. So when I combine like terms, I have x squared plus 8x plus 16. That's my final answer. If you have any questions, let me know. Oh, that's cool. That looks really pretty. Yay! For our last example, this is another one where they try to trip you up, except we're smarter than that, and we got it. Okay? Here we have a binomial times a trinomial. So I am going to separate my terms out. So I'll make that one blue and this one purple. Okay. I'm going to take each term and multiply it by everything within the second one. So I'm going to take 3a times 5a squared times 2a squared minus 6a squared. And I'll do the same with my purple. 1 times 5a squared times 2a minus 6a, which is kind of nice with the purple because we're multiplying by 1, meaning that it's going to be those same terms within the second group. All right, so let's start with the first. 3a times 5a squared gives me 15a cubed. 3a times 2a, which gives me 6a squared. 3a times negative 6 gives me negative 18a. Now, I'm just going to copy down my second group. So plus 5a squared plus 2a minus 6. Now, this is only happening because it's multiplied by 1. If it was multiplied by 2, I would multiply 2 times 5a squared, 2 times 2a squared, 2 times negative 6. All right? So don't think it's a property where I just copy down the second term. Now I look and combine like terms. Well, there's only one a3. Okay, here's an a2, a2. Here's an a, and there's my negative 6. So now I'm just going to carry down and combine like terms. So 6a plus 5a gives me 11a squared. Negative 18, or 2 minus 18 gives me negative 16a. minus 6. There's my final answer. All right, as always, if you have any questions, please, please, please let me know, okay? I'm going to be working around the clock grading papers and getting assignments ready for the next 2 weeks. So, missing you all, and let me know if you have any questions. At this point, you have completed your notes, so you should be moving on to my math lab assignment. All right, have a good day, guys.